Most Christian women are very familiar with the Proverbs 31 woman. But what does Proverbs 31 have to do with femininity? Doesn't she sound like a feminist to you? At first glance, I think she actually does. But we know about the pressure to perform everything perfectly. And Proverbs 31 seems to add a biblical mandate to all that pressure. If you've read it lately, you know what I mean. The woman described does it all with a smile, seemingly perfectly. How does she do it? Hi, I'm Dr. Debi. As a clinical psychologist, I've worked with men and women in counseling for more than 25 years, and I know that no one works harder at relationship than a woman. But there is an easier way, and I'm here to share that information with you. So let's dive in. The Proverbs 31 woman seems perfect. But if you read it closely, she's not lost her femininity in the process of caring for her family, running her household, and running a business. How do I know this? Check out these verses. A wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Note that he has confidence in her. He's not competing with her. And she brings him good, not harm. She's not competing with him either. And that's the balance of femininity and masculinity. But learning what it means to be feminine in a world that devalues femininity is not an easy task. As many of you know, my father was absent from my life for 37 years, and my first two marriages ended in divorce. I believed all of that was my fault until I studied men as a psychologist and a couples counselor. I enthusiastically taught all that I was learning to any woman who was willing to listen. And a lot of women got mad at me. Really, really mad at me. Because something seriously important was missing from my approach. And every woman had been screaming at me about it for years, but I hadn't heard until I stood face to face with it myself. I knew rule number one: men are attracted to a confident woman. But now my own knees were shaking. Could I sustain this new approach with a cute boy of my own? What should I do with my own past hurts and with my vulnerability toward him? How could I avoid knee-jerk reactions that were my default mode? Would I be able to figure it out before it was too late? All these questions led me into new territory, and here are some of my thoughts, beginning with identity. The truth about the Proverbs 30 woman is we women have been doing the best we can with what the world has been telling us, but we've been robbed of so much in the process. We've been told who we are as people. We've learned to muscle up and be tough, but we've been forced into a new kind of old mold. Our God-given identity has been stolen again. The feminist lie. No, not the I deserve to be treated with respect and paid as much as a man kind of feminism. That's actually the good part. But I'm talking about the kind of feminism that killed our femininity. The kind that says we're no different than men. We are different and can be fully confident in that without castrating our men. Because we're created to carry a unique kind of power, the unparalleled ability to inspire and influence others. We must recognize the power of our femininity, develop our power of feminine influence, and learn how to use our power wisely. Therefore, the femininity of the Proverbs 31 woman is worth our time and effort to explore. Don't you think so too? What are your thoughts? I really want to know because we're on this journey together and because I look forward to hearing from you soon.